To begin your reverse painting staff portrait, you're going to get two pieces of tape and we're going to lay your transparency film directly on top of your picture of your staff member and just tape on the very top to hold it in place. Then we're going to use a Sharpie to go over your staff member to trace them. As you work, you can pick it up to see your lines without the picture underneath. Think about your eyes like shapes of a football. We want to not press down too hard with your Sharpie so that your lines don't get too thick. It's up to you if you want to start with small facial details or large outlines. You can embellish parts of hair or clothes if you need to, so like adding little extra lines just to make it look a little more detailed. But just take your time. You don't want to rush through this, it is permanent marker. If you make a mistake, there is a way to erase your Sharpie, but you run the risk of erasing more than you want to. So really try to go nice and slow for your tracing part. For smaller details like fine lines or eyelids or even outlining eyebrows, it could look a little funny at first. So just be mindful of the lines that you're making. Don't outline your nose as a whole shape. You want to just outline where the shadow lines fall. So you'll see like the bottom of the nose, maybe the side of the nostrils. You might do one line up the bridge of your nose where it connects to the eyebrow, but it won't be just like a triangle on someone's face. When you're doing the teeth, if these people are smiling with their teeth, we're not outlining each individual tooth. You can outline the top layer of teeth and then the bottom layer of teeth, but if you outline each individual tooth, it may look silly. So lips and just the row of teeth you want to outline. This doesn't have to be super, super detailed. Just we want to get a nice tracing to capture the essence of your staff member. If you have small details on their face, like maybe they have a dimple or they have a smile line, you can outline that really lightly if you choose to, but that's an option and not something you have to do. If they have details on their clothes, that is also optional. So in this picture, I was wearing my lanyard so you can see the beads hanging from my neck. I chose for this to not outline my beads. You can do it if you want to outline every single detail, but you do not have to. The same thing goes for like folds in fabric. I chose to go over the lines in the sleeves of my shirt, but as far as the details on my skirt, I just left that blank. So it's up to you as far as clothing or accessory details are concerned. Once your tracing is done, we're going to begin painting. You need to flip your transparency over to the white side of your photograph. You cannot paint on the same side that your Sharpie is on. So make sure you flip it so that your Sharpie is on the front and your painting is on the back. It's very important. We talked about choosing either warm or cool colors for this step. If you're choosing warm colors, you can do red, orange, yellow, or for this, I'll also let you do pink. You can use your warm colors straight out of the paint tray if you want, or you can get a mixing tray and combine different variations of red, yellow, orange, pink, maybe add in different tints or shades, so making them lighter or darker using black and white. But it's up to you how you're going to fill in your warm or cool colors. I am just doing my hair and my clothes. I also am going to choose to do my eyebrows and my lips. It's up to you how you want to paint this. If you think it looks silly having see-through skin and you would like your staff member to have warm or cool skin too, that's totally up to you. I chose to leave all parts of my skin blank, but if you want to make sure that you have different colors, then that's fine. If you're going to paint your skin, I would paint your eyebrows and your lips first and then do a different color for your skin. I want you to remember that we're painting on a transparency. So as you lay paint down, the first layer that you put down is what your viewer is going to see, which is opposite from how we normally paint. Normally, your viewer would see the last thing you did first because it's laying on top. But technically, we're painting on the back of this transparency. So while you're working, if you need to lift it up a little bit to look underneath to see how the front of your work can look, then you can do that. Painting on the transparency can be really tricky if your brush gets wet or your paint is thin. It's going to start to get see-through. So you might want to use more paint than normal. Or as it dries, you might want to go back in and layer some things. So as the pink in my hair dried, I mixed up a lighter pink and went in to add some highlights throughout. Again, up to you how you're going to paint your work. As long as you stick to one color family, that's all that matters to me. So hair, clothes, eyebrows, lips, and skin are all separate pieces. If you're going to do skin, I would recommend doing the same color for arms, neck, and face. Don't do like orange face, pink arms. I would stick to one color for skin, one color for hair, one color for clothes. But again, as long as you're sticking with either warm or cool colors, you have a little bit more freedom in this. When it's time to take these to the drying rack, do not flip them back. I want you to leave it so the paint is up and that your transparency is laying on the back of your staff photograph. It needs to be sitting up because if you flip it, then it's going to squish your paint and it will wipe off and get in all the wrong spots. If you happen to go outside of the lines, you can use your finger to wipe it away now, or you can wait until your paint dries and next week we can use your fingernail to scrape away any areas that you don't like. So if you go outside of the lines a little bit, please don't panic. It's actually way more flexible on our transparency than it normally would be on paper. For your background, we're going to be doing a squeegee painting technique. I did warm colors for my portrait, so I'm using cool colors for my background. I'm choosing to use the neon green and the turquoise light blue from my palette. I'm going to mix them up to create like a blue-green situation. I tried out a few different techniques for this, and I found the most successful is if you create a bunch of dots of the colors you want to use up at the very top of your paper. If you spread your dots down through the whole paper, you'll be stuck with those dots in the background. So it's kind of up to you how you want this to look, but you're going to use large globs of paint, not just little tiny dots. We want a lot of paint. You might want a partner to help you with this step because you'll need to lay your squeegee at the top, hold your paper down at the top, and then push down really hard the whole way through. If you let go of the weight, it's going to leave paint behind. So you want to make sure you're really pushing down hard. If you look back and there's some globs, you can go over it again, but it will change the way it looks a little bit. So just make sure you're being patient through this. I chose to go back because I let some of the pressure off in the middle. So if you want to do that, you can. Just maybe have somebody hold the top of your paper because it can be very tricky to hold it down with one hand and pull your squeegee with the other hand, especially since that paint's so close to the top. When you're finished with this step, make sure you wash your squeegee really well so that the next person doesn't get your color combination on their painting. Once your background is dry, you're going to carefully remove your transparency portrait from the picture. Peel the tape off gently, get all of the tape off of your clear plastic part. Then you're going to bring your transparency film and your background to me. We will flip it over so we see the front of it and not the back so that the Sharpie lines are showing on the front, all your details over your painting. And then I'm going to help you hot glue your work onto your background. Your squeegee painting might not have filled your whole background. You might be left with a white spot. So it's up to you to get creative on how you want to lay your work out on your paper. But once we figure out where you want it to lay, I can hot glue it for you. And then you're all ready to photograph your artwork and upload it to Artsonia.